Now, I'm happy to have with me today two familiar faces because I've had them on the program before, but I think it's important that we talk with them again. I have with me Charlie Ray, owner of Nature's Outlet.
How are you?
I am great. How about you?
Doing great.
And
Thanks
John
for having us.
Rigdon, who is the educational specialist with Nature's Outlet.
Good morning.
So I would say, how are you both doing? And I know you're great. I see
Yeah.
the smiles on your face this morning, bright and early.
We got up early to get down here, but we're happy to be here.
Good, good. Well, we want to talk today about your health, and I think that's very important. It should be important to everyone. And with everything that's been going on in society today, we feel like we need to think a little bit more about how we can stay healthy, vibrant into our older senior years. How about that? So I wanted to talk with Charlie and John today about some products that Nature's Outlet offers. And I want to start, I think I hear a lot about probiotics. I hear about probiotics, and we talk about digestion. Now I'm thinking to myself, when I was younger, I didn't have any problems with digestion. My goodness, no, I didn't. But as I've gotten older, it seems like it's starting to show up a little bit more, just a little bit more. It's creeping in there. And I'm wondering, I'm thinking, okay, at what age do we start having digestion problems? Is that a crazy thing to ask?
No, and I think over time, over the last, 50 years, that answer has actually changed. I don't think digestive problems were nearly so prevalent, say 50 years ago, when we were eating a better diet. And we had better health habits, and we had lower stress levels. Right now, my goodness, it's frightening what we eat. If you put out what you eat over the last week, think about what you ate over the last week.
Right.
And think about how many things shouldn't be there, right? And and I get it. Like, hey, it's a busy world. We're, trying to get things done. And we eat for convenience as much as we eat for health.
Exactly right.
And so, even in my time, I've been in health food stores for, 25 years. But from the time that I started working there till now, the percentage of people that are coming in that have, and we're not talking about minor digestive problems, but like it's really impacting my life kind of digestive problems. It's probably between 1/3 and 1/2 of the people that are coming in our stores now.
Really?
And a lot of people, it becomes an issue after we ask them a few questions because they don't want to lead with this idea, that, gee, I have diarrhea every day. People don't like to walk in and just, wave their hand and say, hey, I'm a person who has diarrhea every day, But once we start talking with people and they tell us what's really going on, we're realizing that this is an epidemic. And so kind of what we're trying to do today is talk about, when people come to our store, they wait until there's a crisis. There's a big, gee, I have horrible arthritis, or gee, I've got this problem or that problem. And they come in and are like, what can I take for that? And what we want to do is back up and say, hey, wait a minute. There are just there's a handful of things that if you just focused on your foundation of your house, so to speak, your health house, if you focused on those foundational things, you're going to do better across the board. And so we think, that's one of the best messages that we can share with people. One of the best services we can offer is get people away from thinking in terms of treating problems after they surface and just think about how to be healthy overall, because the idea is, if you're not healthy, your quality of life is this.
Right.
But if we, and it doesn't have to be complicated, but if we do a few things and we do the right things and we do them consistently, our quality of life can be this. So let's focus on what can we do to get to there. So the first place we have to start right now with our customers is, we have to go to where they are. And right now, everybody has a digestive mess.
And it starts early. You mentioned like how early does that start in life, and it starts with infancy. When you're a baby, there are some factors that have come into play like formula rather than breast milk. Breast milk is loaded with all these nutrients that really nourish your gut, your digestion. It puts all that good bacteria, those probiotics, in the baby's gut, and that plays a big role for their immune system. So you'll find, babies that were formula fed rather than breastfed, a lot of times they have a lot of allergy issues. They're asthmatic. They have a lot of food allergies, food intolerances. So it does start early, and so you can. I mean, they make probiotics for babies. I mean, this is something that's safe for children, for teenagers and stuff. So I mean, it is really important early on in life.
Okay, so let's talk about probiotics for a moment.
Sure.
Under the amplified probiotics. Tell me, when I look at this, is this a daily supplement? Is this something I can take periodically, just when I feel bad? I guess I'm thinking to myself, the older I get, I need help.
Right.
I need help with digestion. I'm trying to do the right things, but that doesn't always mean I am. And as you said, fast food is almost a way of life at times because we're living in such a different world of moving quickly to get from point A to point B that we don't sit down and think for a moment, I really need my balanced diet of vegetables and proteins. We just move on to the next thing that we have to do. So when you're talking about your gut and trying to get it straightened out, with probiotics, why is this a good product to consider?
So it's super important. Probiotics are probably more foundational than anything else we can recommend.
Okay.
Your health starts in your gut. Your immune system resides mostly in your gut. Even your brain chemistry is determined by what's happening in your gut. And what influences all of that is whether or not you have good bacteria in your gut. Okay, so probiotics they're your friendly good guy bacteria. They help you break down your food better. They actually create nutrients of their own. They actually help support and wake up your immune system. So they're very, very basic and very, very important. And what we've done, Deborah, with our modern lifestyle is it's a recipe for putting stress on those guys, and it makes the environment very, very bad for them. A lot of it's the food we eat, like you've talked about, but it's also things like antibiotics. Every time you get a runny nose, you've taken an antibiotic in your life.
Right.
That's not just killing the bad bacteria. That's killing your good bacteria in your gut.
And some people think that I need to live off of antibiotics, that I need every time my nose runs. And your wife is a doctor, and I'm sure she hears this a lot. My nose is running, I need an antibiotic. What can you do for me? And
my wife, I think she's a good doctor because she's pretty conservative with her prescription pad. She is not going to write, people have an expectation when they go to the doctor that they're going to get a prescription because they went to the doctor.
Right.
And she disappoints a lot of her patients because she's like, you don't need that. And one of the things that she's pretty conservative with is the antibiotics, because they certainly have their place and they can be life-saving. They're absolutely, it's a godsend that we have them. But if we overly rely on them, then it can hurt our health. And if you're an individual that's used antibiotics a whole lot, eventually they lose their effect,
Right.
So, but if you haven't used antibiotics a lot, they're going to be more effective in your system. So avoiding antibiotics if you don't need them is an important thing. But here's another thing. We have chlorine in our water.
Right.
Chlorine kills bacteria. That's why they put it in the water.
Okay.
But it also kills. We drink a glass of water, and drinking water is good, but hey, we're getting some chlorine in a lot of our water, or we're bathing in it and it's coming through our skin. So we've got all of these environmental things and lifestyle things. Stress,
Wow.
changes the environment in your gut. Like it becomes, the pH balance and everything gets out of whack. And these guys they just die off and they go away. So this is, to answer your question that you asked, probably 4 minutes ago, is, it really should be thought of as a daily use kind of thing. But what's great about this particular formula is we went to the top experts in the world, just like these. It's the same group of people, they're just the smartest people we've ever met. That's, we've talked about that product at length, and it's amazing. Well, this is what they do. It's probiotics. They're a probiotic company. And this is basically, we said, make the best formula you can make. We don't care what it looks like or how much it costs. What would you make? And they came back and said, this is the formula. It's got everything you need. And we've found with our customers, they'll use this. People that have really like chronic messed up digestive systems, 2 to 3 days, and they're like, I cannot believe the difference this has made in my life. This is a game changer. So this is one of those. So all 3 of these products we want to give people products that work on their foundation, like the whole foundation of your health house, but also things that, hey, I felt that. I feel better when I take this. Because there's a lot of products out there that are kind of theoretically good for you, but you don't feel anything. So we're really trying to focus on what's the most bang for the buck. What's going to make life better. And so that's where we looked at thousands of products in our store, and these are the 3 that make the most impact. So, but it starts with digestion. If your digestion's out of whack, your other nutrition, you're not going to absorb it as well. You're not going to break it down. It's going to kind of just go right through you. So we've got to fix the digestion first. That's the first place to start. So that's why we sort of started the conversation with probiotics.
All right, so let's talk. All right, John, we've talked about this before, Amplified Immunity.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a product, of course, people getting sick, feeling better, maybe a little bit afraid of what's going on right now.
Sure.
They want to try to be as healthy as they can. I mean, they want to do whatever it takes to try to stay healthy so their family stays healthy.
Yes.
So with this Amplified Immunity, how well is that product working in your stores?
It's incredible. I mean, it's probably the best-selling thing in the stores right now. I mean, it's got all the stuff in it that people are looking for their immune system. It's got zinc. I mean, you hear about zinc every day now. Zinc and vitamin D are really important. It's got vitamin C in it. It's got these things from from mushrooms or baker's yeast that makes your immune system smarter. It actually has a few different probiotics, the best probiotics for your immune system. So we were talking about how important probiotics are for your overall health, including your immunity. Well, they, the experts that helped us make this product, they chose the 3 best probiotics for your immune system. So this is you're nourishing that through digestive health. That's really cool.
Okay, now I heard you use the word probiotics.
Mm-hmm.
So are we talking about one or the other, or can both of them be taken together?
I would do both, because this is the amplified probiotic is kind of that digestive support, and then there's a lot of side benefit, but that's going to help you digest your food, get all the vitamins and minerals out of it. It's also going to help with that bloating, that alternating constipation and diarrhea that we call consturia.
Probiotics. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then this one is really focusing more on the immune system.
I see.
So
They're kind of designed to work together. They're
together.
complementary, like peas and carrots.
yeah, they're puzzle
Gotcha.
pieces, and they
Okay.
fit together really well.
All right.
And then of course the neatest ingredient in Amplified Immunity is that Solar Plast, that organic spinach extract. See, the reason why this product is so nice to take on a daily basis is it's not just helping your immune system, it's giving you energy, it's detoxifying, it's supporting your liver and your lungs. So it's doing a lot of good stuff for you.
All right, now what about for those people I've heard that say, I can't eat spinach.
Yeah.
I can't, I just can't eat spinach. Does that mean they cannot take this?
There's very little spinach in there. What they're doing, there's really only like a few
Like health-wise.
cells.
I've heard people say, I can't take spinach. I can't eat spinach.
Oh,
because
maybe
it's-"
they're on because of the vitamin K
Yes.
a lot of the time. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that with this.
Yeah, it's not heavy. It's
completely
not heavy in vitamin K.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
not going to have any impact on how thick or thin your blood is or
Yes.
anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, well that answers that question. Now we're going to get to the one in the middle. And I'm familiar with that. My dad used to take fish oil. But you know, when I think about fish oil, I'm thinking, okay, what if I'm eating fish once a week or once every 2 weeks? Do I really need to take fish oil? And if I do take it, I mean, what is that supposed to do to help me out?
Those are good questions.
Yeah.
So you talked about you have relatives that took fish oil. So a lot of people, if they go talk to their older relatives, you'll hear, when I was a kid, I took a spoonful of fish oil every day. You know, at the turn, you know, when we crossed into the 1900s, the most common thing that people took as something for their health was a fish oil. I mean, we knew even back then. And why is that? Well, it's loaded with healthy fats. These healthy fats, one thing, it's like WD-40 for your joints.
I was just
it's
getting ready to say.
you're getting your anti-inflammatory components from fish oil. So that's why we recommend it as a daily use kind of thing, is because inflammation is where a lot of the discomfort in our lives, you know, is where it's coming from. So if we can get ahead of this inflammation, we can just have a better experience in life. And fish oil is probably your most powerful way to address inflammation, especially if you're doing it on a daily basis.
All right, so let me ask you, for those people out there that say fish oil is fish oil, it doesn't matter what the brand is, as long as it says fish oil, that's what I need. Is that true?
I'm glad you brought that up. You know, you look at a fish oil product in you know, go to the grocery store, wherever, and you can look at the bottle. You need to turn the bottle around. There are two fats in particular, they're called fatty acids. There's two parts of the fish oil that are way more important than anything else. And it's complicated stuff, but it's EPA and DHA.
EPA and DHA.
And those are your anti-inflammatories. That's where all of the horsepower is. That's where all the punch comes for the fish oil. Most fish oil products, they won't even tell you how much of those things are in there.
Right.
Because they don't want you to know. What these guys are doing is they are concentrating those really good fatty acids. It's super concentrated. So one of those is like taking 12 of a lot of other products.
And I see the EPA and DHA on this bottle, omega-3.
Yep. That is a therapeutic, super strong, potent dose. And that is one, you know, this is a 1 month supply. We encourage people to take a 1 month supply because by the end of the month, people actually feel the difference.
Is that a daily intake?
It's a simple soft gel, one a day.
Okay.
Take it with food, and the reason I say that is some people, their digestive tracts are sensitive to fat, and the food will sort of help you digest it better and make sure you don't have any, you know, if you take it on an empty stomach, if you have a sensitive stomach, you might feel it a little bit.
Right.
But with food, that solves all of that. And you want to take it before you eat, and the reason for that is, think about fats float, right? So you don't want to eat and then put it on top, because then it's just sort of floating on top. But if you take it first, it sort of mixes in, and that's just the most effective way to do it.
I've never heard it explained that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
but
kind
that makes sense. Makes sense.
So so what we're trying to do is give you 3 options, and you know, everybody can make their own choices based on what their needs is and their preferences are, but these are things that you're working on your foundation, and they have overlapping benefits. They do multiple things. They help each other to work better, and each one of them in their own right has been studied. There's science on them, each one individually, but additionally, each one individually are ones that we have seen our customers come time and time again to purchase because they're feeling better.
All right, now let me ask you a question. Can all 3 of these be taken together? And does taking all 3 of these together, does that impact if you are on prescription medications?
Right, so those are good questions. These are to address the prescription, you know, first of all, if you have any questions or concerns, we're not doctors, but please do talk to your doctor.
Right.
But very generally speaking, these are all well tolerated. There are not specific recommendations against using these, with prescriptions.
Right.
But once again, that's a relationship you have with your doctor. Always, you know, if you're concerned about it, ask. But by and large, these are kind of they're designed for daily use.
They're really safe. I mean, all 3 of these products are really safe because it's replacing stuff that we should be getting in our diet already, but it's very difficult to do. 'Cause, as you mentioned earlier, I mean, people are in a rush, and they stop and eat fast food a lot, and people just don't sit down and have healthy home cooked meals as often as they used to. And so that's what these 3 products are doing. They're really filling in some missing gaps, and they're big missing gaps for our
So can
health.
you take all 3 of these together on a daily
We
basis?
recommend it.
Probably the best answer I can give you is I own a health food store.
Yes.
I can take anything I want. I have lots of stuff in my cabinet. I got, you'd probably be entertaining if you saw my cabinet. In fact, my wife's always like, get all these bottles out of here. But the 3 that I take every day are these 3. Now, I will take others just to kind of really play around because I'm a nerd and I like to see what's what, and it helps to know your products if you're trying to work with the customers. But these are the 3 that's my non-negotiable. It's my foundation.
Okay.
We put a lot of thought into choosing these 3 too. So it's, we tried to make it easy and convenient. So it's just 1 a day of each thing, 1 and 1. So that's 3 pills. And like Charlie was saying, they work really well together. But yeah, I mean, we have thousands of products, and we chose these 3 things. We think they're the 3 most important things that can make people feel better.
No side effects to speak of?
No, they're very well tolerated. Part of the inspiration for this was I have a good buddy, and he uses, he's a customer and he uses stuff, and he's had good results, so he's always asking me. And he said, I don't have time to learn all this stuff. You guys are nerds, and he's like, I trust you guys because I know, like you've given me stuff and it worked. He's like, just give me 3 things to take every day that I'm just getting the most bang for my buck.
Right.
And I started thinking about it. I'm like, why aren't we doing that for people?
Right.
Like that's, because our job should be to make life easier for people. And if we can give people the most effective things and make it as simple as possible, that's what we can really do to produce value for people in the long run.
All right, now when you talk about value, let's talk about that cost-wise.
Okay, sure. $600, you can have it all. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, we are sensitive to that, and we have pretty much done everything we can do to make this as affordable as possible for people. So what we are doing, and a lot of it is we just want people to try a 30-day trial just to see what they experience, because and we're already getting, we tried this in Roanoke and it's going gangbusters. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to put this product on sale.
The probiotics, okay.
We're going to put this product on sale.
The amplified immunity, okay.
If you buy the 2 of those, you get this free.
You get it free. And these 2 are going to be on sale.
Yeah.
Yes. You're not going to beat that price anywhere.
Wow.
Nowhere. No, you can go on Amazon all day long. You're not going to beat that.
Wow.
You can go anywhere. I mean.
Well, that was part of the idea. I mean, we wanted to beat the internet.
Yeah, we're tired of people going, this is $1 cheaper on the internet. Right. We're like, I just spent an hour educating you. Is that worth anything? And we're part of your local community. Is that worth anything? And for some people, apparently that doesn't count for much.
When you talk about educating, I know when you walk into Nature's Outlet, the people there are educated on the products in that store. They know when someone comes in and says, look, I'm looking for this product or looking for something like this, or I have this problem. Is there anything you can recommend? Your guys are schooled and educated on what products are in that store and what would work for them.
Jeremy and Becky have been doing this longer than I have, and I've been doing it for almost 12 years now. So they're really
They're very
smart.
knowledgeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
In theory, I own the store, but that's Jeremy and Becky's store. I mean, let's be honest. They're the personalities that make up that store, and the great thing about them is they are, they're experts, and we've worked really hard on our expertise. But the other great thing is they're very empathetic people.
Right.
They want to help, and they're very patient, and they've heard it all. And they're willing to listen, and they're easy to approach, and they often and they're so into what we do that a lot of times we come down and train them, and then they teach us things that we didn't know about what we're trying to train them on.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, if we haven't learned anything over the last year, one thing is we need to protect our health. We need to be very vigilant in protecting our health because it's very important to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Deborah. Who cares more about your health than you?
You're
It's a
right.
serious question. I mean,
Yeah.
no, you know, that doesn't mean there aren't resources out there, but ultimately, it's everybody's task, so to speak, to pay attention to their health and allocate, you know, some of their energy in life to thinking about how to maintain and protect their health. And, you know, I'm just saying, A, it doesn't have to be super complicated.
Right.
And B, my gosh, if you figure out the right things to do, it can change the entire trajectory of your life.
Right. Well, definitely, you're putting the probiotics and the amplified immunity on sale. If you buy both of those products, you're getting your fish oil free. And I noticed it's wild Alaskan fish oil.
Really clean fish
Clean.
oil, cold water,
Yes.
no pollution, no mercury,
Right.
no lead.
No heavy
And I
metals.
think
that
people
bad
need to
stuff.
understand that, because
Yeah.
when we're talking about fish oil versus fish oil, there is a difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Charlie said earlier, a lot of fish oil supplements, they'll tell you how much fish oil is in each soft gel. That doesn't matter. You want to know how much omega-3, that EPA and DHA that we were talking about, that's the stuff that really helps you, that helps your heart and your brain and your eyes and your joints. You want that
Your mood.
omega-3. You
Yeah,
feel
you know, a
better.
lot of people are having,
better.
I guess, anxiety and
Right.
depression
Oh, yes.
concerns. You know, omega-3s stabilize the mood. They sort of stabilize your brain, and also like people that have a lot of that fuzzy brain stuff.
Ah, I tend to have that
If you can, you know, well, a lot of that's just the byproduct of stress and too much
Uh-huh.
information, but fish oil goes a long way towards resolving that.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right, everybody knows where Nature's Outlet is located, but for those that are wondering, maybe this is the first time you're watching the program, you're located, I would say, right across from the health department. Right
Yeah, on Commonwealth.
on Commonwealth Boulevard,
Uh-huh.
right up above the mall there.
I like to think that we're the real health department.
There we go. Okay.
But I'm just kidding. I made that up. I made that up. You know, they're good people over there.
Okay. Well, if you know where the armory is at, the National Guard Armory, if you know where the health department is, you just have to look across the street, and there's
Mm-hmm.
Nature's Outlet.
Yep, we've been there a long time.
Long time.
And hopefully we'll be there a long time to come.
Well, we certainly hope so. We do, because we definitely need people with knowledge helping us try to work our way through what the strange ingredients are on the back of some of these bottles. Because when I'm looking here and I'm thinking, okay, it'll take a doctor to tell me what that is, or somebody that specializes in it, because I don't know. But the people in your store know.
Do. Yeah.
And that's what's important. I can go to any other store and I can pick up a bottle off a shelf, and what I'm getting, who knows?
Right. And so that's one of our biggest jobs is, you know, there are tens and tens of thousands of products out
yeah.
there. And I will tell you that 85% of them are a bunch of marketing hype, and they're using shortcuts on the manufacturing side, because who the heck knows the difference anyway?
Right.
And so they're competing on the basis of price and a bunch of hype.
Haven't we learned that? And I'll step out on a limb here with buying products from China. We might tend to buy products from China because they are a little bit cheaper, but when we find out by using it that made in America is a so much better product, I think it tells us right here.
Well, I
know what you
was
sell.
made in America. John was made in America, and all three of these products were made in America.
Made in America.
Yep.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
We know that the quality of our products
Well,
here in America.
exactly. I couldn't trust stuff from China. I mean, and
No.
we've had, you know, the good companies that we deal with, they're very skeptical of using ingredients from China, and a lot of them have policies where they will not use ingredients from China.
Sure.
So for good reason in a lot of cases.
I think so. I really appreciate both of you coming on today, because health is something, as John said, it's important to each one of us. And we really don't realize how important it is until our health starts failing. And if we can do certain things to help along the way in keeping our body in better shape, then that's what we need to do.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day, Deborah. So, we always talk about protecting our health, and that's
Yeah.
that's certainly a valid way of looking at it, like avoiding bad things. But you ever think about a day where, it's weird, like everything's kind of going wrong. There's a lot of goofy things happening,
Yeah.
but it's not bothering you. It's like for whatever reason, you're just having a good day. And then there's other days it's like, I feel horrible, and yet good things are happening. Everybody's fine. I don't understand why I feel this way, you know. And a lot of that is
Yes.
your foundational health. And so if we can have more days where it's water off a duck's back, and you know, if we can help people have more of those days, then we've done our job.
You're exactly right. I appreciate you coming on today, and of course, Nature's Outlet, located right here on Commonwealth Boulevard. You can't miss them. Just as Charlie said here, the health food store is right across from the health department practically.